Okay, ready to go? Hi, I'm Bill,
Hi, I'm Lori.
and welcome to the Paddle Tap Podcast, episode number 5. All right, it's July 23rd, 2023. And before we get started, a little bit of housekeeping. You see a lot of products here. We're not sponsored. These are the products that we use, and therefore we share them with our viewers. But if you're a product company and would like to enter into an affiliate marketing relationship or send us your product, we'll try it, and if we like it, we'll make a recommendation. Please do so. You can reach out to us via our email account, 2512pickleball@gmail.com, and I'll put the link to that email address in the video description. And while you're in there, also notice our Amazon links. We have an affiliate marketing relationship with Amazon, so if you use our links to go to Amazon and then buy something, whether it's at the link or not, we get a few pennies, and it kind of helps the channel.
Let's clarify those. 2512 is 2512.
2512pickleball@gmail.com.
So is it,
Great clarification.
Is it 25 space 12
No.
or 2512?
Yeah, 2512pickleball@gmail.com. All right.
Okay.
Again, I'll put the link in with the right email address in there. And I do want to give a shout out to Tosi Snacks. Somehow, this just showed up at our doorstep. Whoever sent it, thank you. I need to be gluten-free, and I don't know if someone saw a video and said, hey, here's a great gluten-free snack. I don't know how that has happened, but the snacks in this pack here, they're USDA organic, they're gluten-free, they're plant-based, they're non-GMO, high protein and low sugar, and I've been eating the ones that have the cashews and the ones that have the almonds. I do have to watch my histamine levels, and sometimes nuts are histamine liberators, but these snacks, no impact on me, so thank you. I'm going to make sure that I have these in my bag going forward when I need some energy to use them. So whoever was the person that sent them, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll put a link to Tosi Snacks website in our video description, where our Amazon links are, as well as our email address.
And so there's 8 flavors, right?
Yeah, and I went to their website, and there might even be more flavors. I'm not sure, but yeah, almond, cashew, blueberry, PB&J, almond and dark chocolate, peanut and dark chocolate. So they have a variety. If you're interested in a snack, in particular, if you need something that's gluten-free, I like the taste. They work well for me. Every person is individual in the sense that my gluten tolerance might be different than yours. So, but for me, I cannot have any gluten at all, and I eat those snacks and no problem whatsoever. So they're going to be in my bag, as I said. All right, so just briefly, the only thing on Major League Pickleball, Season 2 will be starting September 21st. The venue will be in Atlanta at Lifetime Peachtree Corners, and then there'll be another match in Thousand Oaks, California, November 2 through 5, and then December 7 through 11 in San Clemente, California, at the Lifetime Rancho San Clemente venue, which we were at the end of season 1 of 2023 Major League Pickleball. So you might want to keep an eye out for that. And I'm sure it'll be on TV, ESPN2 or something. Not sure yet where it'll be, if nothing else, on YouTube. So might want to keep an eye out for that. Lori,
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Lori, you were going to make some comments about your paddle?
Oh, yeah. Well, I got my Joola Anna Bright, the Scorpius paddle from Joola, 14 millimeter. And I received an 8.8 ounce paddle. And I've been playing with a 7.6 paddle tech, and that is about the right weight for me. So I contacted Joola after playing with it for about a week, and I thought it was a little bit heavy, and so I asked if we could do an exchange, and they're willing to exchange the paddle. So all I need to do is confirm that I was the purchaser and return it, and they're sending me another paddle that I requested a paddle less than 7.8 or less, and should be on its way.
Okay, and I got a little bit of paddle related. You know, I've been playing with this Ronbus R1.16. I am going to do this video on how I got to this paddle. This is not the video though, but I did reach out to Dong Lee, who is the owner of Ronbus, and I asked him, what would be the pros and cons of moving up to the R1 Pulsar, which is a newer model than the R1.16, and Dong got back to me, and this is basically what he said. And he said, spin-wise, the two models are about the same. So the R1.16 and the R1 Pulsar, spin-wise, are about the same. He says the R1 Pulsar has more rebounding power, and he says sometimes he found it too poppy for him to control. And again, the reason I moved to the Ronbus is I had tried a Joola, Ben John's Hyperion, that a friend of ours had, played with a little bit, and I liked the feeling, the cushiness. It seemed like I had a little bit more control on my drops and all that. And then I saw Chris Olson's Pickleball Studio review on Ronbus, and for $100, it's a $120 paddle, and with the Pickleball Studio discount, you can get it for $100. I went ahead and purchased that paddle effectively for $100, and it's a great paddle. I love it. But I thought I'd explore with Ronbus, what is it about the Pulsar that might be of interest to me. So he says he's been personally using the R1 Nova, which they're getting ready to release in August, and he says which has rebounding power between the Pulsar and the original R1.16. So
And that's a 16 millimeter also?
it is. And so while I'm not in need of another paddle right now, it looks like when the Nova comes out, I'll probably purchase that paddle. And I think it's always good to have a spare paddle in your bag. I've always carried a second paddle anyway. So that's, I wanted to mention that. And then I'm going to share with you a personal challenge that I think is important to us as we get ready to play tournaments in 2024. And I've made a commitment to get down under 210 pounds by my birthday in February, early February. I feel if I lose a little weight, it'll be a little bit easier on my joints. I'll have a little bit better mobility, and I'll just be overall healthier. So this morning I weighed in at 217.7. So I'm looking, with about 28 weeks left, I'm looking to lose 8 pounds. And so again, not only lose it, but keep it off. So I just thought I'd share that with you, and I think in the future videos I'll probably be giving some updates on how I'm doing. Am I thumbs up on trending in the right direction, or am I thumbs down? And I already know I need to cut out the gluten-free Oreos and probably that dairy-free ice cream I've been eating at night.
And the potato chips.
Potato chips, yeah.
Which are one of the snacks that Bill can have on his low histamine diet.
And I think potatoes have some potassium in them, but that's a story for another time. We are going to do a video, I believe, on the electrolytes that we use, what our preferences are, and why we use them. But that'll be a future video that's coming up.
Yes, I'm a big cramper.
Yeah, Lori's the cramper. And then again, as I mentioned, we're about 4 weeks in this journey to get tournament ready for 2024. 70 plus is what we hope to play in. And so that means we have about 28 weeks in front of us before I turn 70, and then we'll look for our first tournament after that, I think. So, although, I was thinking about it, and we may want to play some local tournaments before then, just to get the feel of the tournament play as we're progressing down the road. So, all right, I think now we'll move into thoughts on the past week. If you saw Paddle Tap podcast episode 4, you know that we were in Santa Barbara the early part of the week. I had a great time there, very friendly pickleball crowd. Then we came back home, and then we started drilling again. And I didn't play. I only played rec play in Santa Barbara this week. The rest of the time was drill time. And again, I'm trying to balance more drill time with some rec time over the next few weeks anyway. So it was a good week last week. And
Oh yeah, we practiced roll volleys.
yeah, we practiced roll volleys. Continued to work on my serve. It's still not where it needs to be. And also I'm back on practicing some ground strokes because I really think not every shot on the third shot should necessarily be a drop. There's times where a drive might be a better decision, so I need to continue to work my technique on both the forehand ground strokes and the backhand. So I spent a little time on that last week. What's your thoughts on last week?
Oh, last week? It's kind of a blur.
Which kind of ends in a sense today, but
Yeah, so we saw, I think we wanted to avoid hitting into the net, and one way is to softly dink the ball over by lifting it up, and the other alternative is to do a roll volley so that you're accelerating the ball over the net. And I think that's really a key to avoid hitting into the net.
yeah, I mean, something that runs through my mind now. You play rec play, you have fun, you socialize. You're going to play tournaments. I think you want to bring your best stuff. You want to have good decision making, and you want to win. You want to get to the podium. I mean, I just think is that, so now this thing that's going through my head is don't let the net beat you, so I'm a little bit focused more. Sometimes I try to get too cute, too exact. Well, rushing is part of it, yeah, but sometimes I try to get too exact with a drop,
Yeah.
and it doesn't go over the net. That drop doesn't have to be perfect, and those type of things. So I got these thoughts now, don't let the net beat you. But we also worked on drops this past week, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, we've been doing your video of the week exercise. So
okay, so
in order to execute you really need to have a good drop.
okay, so we'll bring that up maybe towards the end. So that kind of covers your thoughts on the last week. It was a blur.
Yeah.
Well, you had all your birthday things. You had
Yeah.
your birthday lunch with your girlfriends, and and all those things. So maybe we're back to a little bit more of a normal routine. So maybe we'll go into next week. Our next lesson with Coach Marcia is tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, up at Lincoln Park in Alameda, California. Looking forward to that.
And what are you going to have her work on?
Here's the conversation I think I want to have with her. What does she think we should work on next? I think there's probably an orderly progression of what you should work on. I think there's probably some higher value shots than others. So really, how should we kind of approach this? I think more work at the net, and maybe that is the roll volley. We did the punch volley, we did the dinking, maybe more dinking, maybe, so, but I want to get the feedback from Marcia, on what should be the progression that we're working on for her shots. I mean, your serves are really golden. Yeah, you're working to try to get a little more height, but I don't know we need to spend a lot of time on that. My serves needs work, but again, I think that work can be done on drill time. And you've been coaching me out on the court in front of everybody.
No,
No,
I
no,
didn't.
no, no, no. You got to turn this way. But having two coaches is better than having just
No,
one.
to be honest now, sometimes you were losing focus.
I do.
So your
Yeah.
feet were not lined up. So he was getting the serves in, but he was crossing over his body in order to do it. And I don't think you can develop consistency that way. And if you can't get your serve in, you lose your opportunity to get any points. So getting your serve in, even though it may not be a softer serve, is really important.
Yeah, and I think the key word you use is focus. I've been known to lose focus. I'll get distracted by a plane flying overhead. I sometimes think I'm the kid out in left field picking daisies when the baseball game is going on. It's like, so I really need to focus. So,
Well, you remember what James Ignatowicz said.
oh, what did James say?
He says the reason or I thought he said, the reason he continually jumps around the court or keeps hopping is to maintain his focus, because he also gets distracted.
Yep. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it's something I've known, and I even when I was playing with my questionable serve, which I was getting in a lot, I noticed if there was a conversation about the score not being correct or something like that, so I had to wait for my next serve. I often, chances are, more times than not, I'd put that serve out or to the out of bounds, because I just, in that moment, I've just kind of lost that focus. So maybe there's some exercises I can do. If you're aware of any exercises that you may do, similar, like maybe you don't hop around like James Ignatowicz, but if there's something that's working for you, why don't you drop a comment in the video to share that idea with me, and maybe that can help me get into focus more often. So, all right, so that's kind of what I'm looking forward to this week. Anything in particular for you on this week?
Well, I think we're going to work on that drill.
Oh, okay. So that kind of takes us to the video.
The video of the week.
Okay. So this week I have a video by Coach Simone, and it's called A Mixed Doubles Strategy. And a couple of reasons why I'm kind of focused on this video right now. Really, it's the first thought about mixed double strategy. We need to understand, as we play as a team, and we're going to learn how to stack and those type of things. This video helped me understand that there might be an optimal place to do a drop for your third shot when you're playing mixed doubles. And the scenario is, it's mixed doubles. Typically, the woman is on the right side, the man is on the left, and let's face it, oftentimes in mixed doubles, they tend to pressure the woman more than they tend to pressure the man. Not always the case, but often this is what you might see. And so in this video by Coach Simone, she was showing the optimal place to drop the shot. And I think here I'll put a picture in so you can kind of see the court. And what you should see is a set of cones that have kind of defined a circle in the kitchen. And I'll also include a little clip of Lori and I doing the drill. And what the goal was. Again, it's a good drill because you can use the ball machine, but we did it without the ball machine. So it went like Lori would serve, I would return to Lori, and then she'd have to hit that third shot with the goal of trying to do a drop shot into those cones.
Yes, on the outside closest to the net. cross court.
Yeah, cross court. So,
And the reason for that
go ahead.
is the person that's opposite the server can't come over and poach the ball, and the person that's receiving that shorter ball has to look down in order to hit it up.
Yeah, the person that is returning, doing the second shot, returning the
That
ball.
would be the fourth shot, right?
No, that'd be the second shot, because what you have is you have the server serves, the receiver has to return the ball, and after the receiver returns the ball, they have to start moving up, or should start moving up to the kitchen line. So if you can do a drop into the corner, again, if you look at the picture I've put up with where the cones are, it makes it difficult. In this picture, you probably see the slinger bag kind of simulating where the other team player would already be on the receiving team at the kitchen line. If you drop it into that spot where that circle of cones is, kind of hard for that person to come all the way over and poach. And if it's the person that returned the ball,
It's receiving the ball.
no, the person that returned the ball to the person that then has to hit the third shot drop, they're running up, and you want to make them reach for that ball, and that means they have to look down. So anytime you can get a person to look down for a shot, there's a chance that they're going to pop that shot up if they even get it over the net. When people are able to not look down and hit the ball, then it's probably going to come at you pretty hard. But that's the beauty about this shot, is you want them looking down to try and get that shot. And oftentimes they'll pop it up, and you can be right there to the put away, a punch volley, or something like that. So again, I think if you're interested in that type of a strategy, that's why I'll put the link in the video description to Coach Simone's video. She covers other things in there, dinking and other aspects of double strategy. Yeah, mixed double strategy. And I think it always helps when you actually have 4 people on the court instead of 2. But we managed to get some value out of the drill, and we'll continue to drill on that from time to time as part of our drill
I thought
sessions.
we were going to do a video on it.
We think we have the footage to do a video, and if it all looks good, then there'll probably be a 4 or 5 minute video specifically on that drill, and that should be out in a couple of days. But yeah, I think it's worthwhile. Again, different people have different reasons for playing pickleball. If you're more tournament minded and you're going that direction, this could be a good drill, but it also a good drill just for rec play. Where do you place the shot? Which shot? And then where do you place it? And really right now, as I sit here, I have no idea, other than right now I at least have an idea when it comes to that important first drop, where to place it when you're playing mixed doubles. And hopefully over time we'll build on that knowledge and everything. I think that's about it, Lori. Did we? Were you going to call out a separate video?
Oh, yes. Well, Bill and I had a discussion.
Discussion.
More than a discussion, actually. But when we were practicing this particular drill this morning, if he hit the ball really deep, it was almost, if I served and he returned the ball to me, the ball is coming high into the court. It was almost impossible for me to hit a third shot into that into the area designated with the cones. So I recall hearing Simone say that if the ball comes up pretty high, she just drives it.
Yeah, just for clarification, this is a separate
video. So that's my video of the week, drive and drop. So I think that if the ball is too high, too deep, then I'm going to have to drive it. I'm not going to be able to hit it into that designated area in the kitchen. But what I'm going to do is aim for return it to the server. I mean the returner, but hit it towards the sideline so that the other person can't come over and poach
Right.
that ball.
Yeah, that the path of that drive needs to be such that the other person can't come over and poach. And
So that's why we had the discussion. I said, I recall her saying that you don't always have to drive, that she prefers to drive a higher ball. And Bill's ball was coming in perfectly,
deep
very
returns.
deep and in,
You
and
wanted-
I could not drop it.
you wanted reality.
Yeah, that's what I want.
And that's an important thing. We also did this drill with the ball machine. And now the ball machine consistently basically places the ball so
In a certain area.
in a certain
not
area. So Lori was able to step in and get
in practice.
and practice on those
drops.
And then we did I think the footage you'll see is without the ball machine. And when that person's returning the ball, you're never quite sure where it's going to come relative to where you're positioned in on the court, whether it's going to be low, high, or whatever. So, but I think they both serve the purpose. I think for just getting the feeling of stepping into the drop, for the drop shot, the ball machine is good, but then you really need to do it in as play,
Yeah,
regular
more like
play.
unexpected.
Yep.
Which is what happens in rec play. You just, or when you're playing, it doesn't go to the corner that you want it to.
And this goes to why I kind of limit when I'm looking at instructional videos. That's why I kind of keep it to like Tyson McGuffin, Coach Simone, Jordan Briones, because I find that if I watch too many people, they have a slightly different take, and then I'm kind of left confused.
But these were both Simone.
They are both Simone. All right, well, I think that's about it. If you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up.
Like, share, and subscribe.
And thank you for dropping in to episode 5 of the Paddle Tap Podcast.
See you on the court.
court.